This is our little inquiry project that we do a lot in Project Adventure with inquiry. So to choose one activity, we thought this would be the best to bring down here and demonstrate. The kids are broken up into groups of 5 or 6 at their stations. They'll rotate through different Project Adventure stations. This is one of them called Tubies, and basically what they are is similar to Legos, Lincoln Logs, erector sets. You build things. So to start off, we first have the kids just build something, have their team come up with a creation and build something on their own with their imagination. And it could be something that flies, it could be something that rolls, it could be something they use for a sport or other activity. And once they've created something on their own, then we try to challenge them with little pictures. And they will draw out of a bucket a certain picture. And they're color-coded by difficulty. Blues are the easiest, and I'll pass these around so that you can see them. And then purple and pink. And what the students have to do is try to build that particular object. And they only get a certain amount of these pieces. They don't get the whole bag. We break it up, and they get probably about 12 pieces per group. And they have to try and best build the object that's on their card. And it's really great because they have to work together. It's not an individual thing, so they're sharing their ideas. They're coming up with different strategies on how to build it. And the great thing about having the pictures in black and white, we originally hoped to have them in color, but with black and white it works out even better because if the colors were on there, the kids could easily see what one goes where and which color fits into which spot. So with it in black and white, they have to guess which color it is and try to problem solve and trial and error to put things together. And the kids really enjoyed it. It was something totally different that they've done down in TV. And the pieces are really easy to go together. Each one has an arrow on the top and bottom of each inlet, and then each male and female have the arrows on it, and you just insert and lock into place by twisting, so that way it's very sturdy. The kids are able to have the sky's the limit as far as what they can imagine and create.
Trying to get them to work together. Teamwork.
At this age, it's really important that we try to do that with Project Adventure, among a lot of other things that we do. But kids are very in the me, and one wants to be a leader, and one wants to just stay really quiet. And so we encourage them, having them in the small groups of 5 or 6. Sometimes those louder voices are quieted, and those quiet people sometimes rise up, and they're encouraged to share their erectors.
Because they have to fit on that thingamajig.
So, you said they're different sounds. How are they different? They're made of the same material.
Maybe if it's bigger, the sound expands more.
You mean it's louder, softer?
Yeah.
And that's typical of what the students will say, that they're louder.
I teach kindergarten.
They're louder or softer, but then, and more so, you would think that they would think the bigger
ones are louder, right?
But more often, I found that they'll say that the smaller one is louder and the bigger one is softer. So then I'll say, oh, interesting, and I'll come up and I'll play just like they think. I'll play the big one loud, the little one loud, and the soft one, big one softer. And they'll think their theory is the right one.
Right.
But then I'll say, well, can I also play the big one louder and the little one softer? It kind of blows their theory. They say, well, yes. So does size have anything to do with the volume? No, it has to do with how you play it, with the size of the bar. So then we discover different things, and they say, well, it sounds different, and that's when I point out, well, they're all made of the same material, how does it sound different? And I'll play them, and eventually they'll discover that they go higher and lower, and that's the right terminology. And at what point do they go higher and lower? And one student said, well, right about here, then this is higher, 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 lower, 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 lower. So I thought that was really cute. But then after we discovered Little means high, and that's a big concept, and big means low rather than volume. We transfer that to other instruments, they experiment. So which one is a higher pitch? The top bell and the bottom bell, and of course the little one. Same with the agogo bell, same with the boom whackers. Why do you think there's all different colors? And why do you think all different colors?
Different sounds.
Different sounds. And eventually you see they relate to the pitch, but why is this the same color? By the way, these are boom whackers. When you whack them, they go boom. Well, the same pitch, with the same note, but higher, and then these are all different notes. But then we take it and I make them think about the keyboard. Well, if little means higher and big means lower, what about the keyboard? And we just take the white notes. These are all the same size. So do they sound all the same? No, they don't sound all the same. And then we discover that this is digital. But then we go to the acoustic piano. Well, why is it that they have different sounds?
Are the blacks keys too?
Well, we just, at first they thought that maybe the black is higher notes and the white are lower notes. But then we discover that the white notes are not all the same and the black notes are all the same. When we go to the acoustic piano, why do you think they're not all the same? Because they're the same size, all the white notes. Why don't they sound the same?
The wires inside the piano?
And one little first grader said, I got it. The controls are in the inside. And I thought, wow, you think so? You want to go check? Oh yes, so we opened up the piano, and of course this is just a picture of the piano, and they saw how the size of the strings, the ones that were longer, had the lower sounds all the way up to the ones that were higher, so they all got to see the piano and the strings, and the difference between the acoustic piano with the strings and the digital you just plug in and they make their sounds. So then after that we went in groups and they chose a bunch of instruments, and they got to experiment to see if that theory held true for all the instruments. That's just what they
Really? Yes, very interesting.
like they think.